result on the brink global conflict map shows where tensions are at breaking point. This comprehensive global conflict map shows where tourists would encounter danger and violence across the world, including North Korea and the Middle East. But the conflict zones are not constricted. The Middle East, with Africa and Asia also being deemed as unsafe. North Korea is naturally included on the map as the country's aggressive nuclear testing campaign threatens to spark World War III. Air raid sirens rang out across North Korea's capital city, Pyongyang, over the weekend as the country forces its citizens to prepare for the possibility of conflict. While Kim Jong-un's war of words with world leaders such as Donald Trump have made the global geopolitical climate increasingly volatile. Civil wars in Libya and Syria are also rated as critical conflicts, as is the war against the so-called Islamic State in Iraq. Tensions in the East China Sea and territorial disputes in the South China Sea, as Asian superpower China flexes its muscles to take control of the area, are also branded critical conflicts. Tensions in the Middle East have been taken into account as significant conflicts in Yemen and Lebanon get a special mention. In Lebanon, sectarian conflicts involving Hezbollah, a political and military organization which has been involved in terrorist attacks, have dogged politics for years. In recent weeks, the Lebanese prime minister fled to Saudi Arabia, where he resigned in a strongly worded speech in which he accused Hezbollah, backed by Iran, of destabilizing his country. Saudi Arabia has also made brash power plays over Iran and other countries in the region that have threatened to destabilize neighboring countries whose conflicts have made it onto the list. The Sunni kingdom has declared it is at war with Iran and Lebanon, while it has also blockaded Yemen over a missile launch aimed at Riyadh, and led the charge in isolating Qatar amid accusations the emirate state-backed terrorism. Zimbabwe is in political turmoil after the army moved in to remove President Robert Mugabe, placing the 93-year-old under house arrest. Zimbabwe's military chief said the army wanted to deal with people who were committing crimes that are causing social and economic suffering in the country. Those nearby feared shots were fired as suspects were arrested, but Mugabe's party, the ZANU-PF party, claimed it was banging, while people were resisting arrest. His party, the ZANU-PF party, denied on Wednesday there had been a coup, adding that Vice President Emmerson Mnangagwa will now take power for the sanity of the country. The British Foreign and Commonwealth Office has told people in the country to stay off the streets. A statement said, due to the uncertain political situation in Harare, including reports of unusual military activity, we recommend British nationals currently in Harare to remain safely at home or in their accommodation until the situation becomes clearer. Islamist militancy in Pakistan and Egypt are also significant conflicts which merit a serious warning, as are the violent activities of vile extremists Boko Haram in Nigeria. Terrorist group Boko Haram were responsible for the capture of 200 Chibok schoolgirls in Nigeria in 2014. 100 of the young schoolgirls still have not returned home. The refugee crisis in the European Union is also mentioned. Refugees fleeing bloody conflicts all over the world have headed for Europe, but most European countries maintain they do not have room to grant them all asylum. Limited conflicts included in the map include a host of tensions across Africa. Violence in the Central African Republic and Democratic Republic of Congo, civil war in South Sudan, a political crisis in Burundi, and destabilization in Mali are all included. The activities of another Islamist terrorist group, Al-Shabaab, in Somalia are also mentioned in the conflict map. Islamist militancy in Russia and sectarian violence in Myanmar should also be avoided. Venezuela is on the brink of bankruptcy, owing $60 billion to creditors. It has had to seek relief on loans from Russia, which has in turn requested it hosts its warships. Hunger and disease is spreading through the country as the economy slides. Travel advice on conflict-ridden areas can be found on the Foreign Office website.